was going to turn left first, but I guess I'm turning right first. Okay, so why don't we start off, Nigel, maybe you can tell us a little bit about Graphcore, because I'm sure most of the audience, since you guys are, you're not in stealth, but you're quiet.
We're certainly releasing some information about our company, but on a slow basis. We've actually been working on this for close on 4 years, so we're a long way down the path, and we will have product out in the market with early customers by the end of this year. But what we're doing at Graphcore is we're developing a new type of hardware that is developed specifically to accelerate machine intelligence. So we have CPUs today for general compute. We have GPUs, graphics processing units, that were designed for graphics, and people are using them for machine learning, but they weren't originally designed for that purpose. And what we're developing is what we call an intelligence processing unit for machine intelligence. And we've gone and we've understood the underlying workloads associated with machine intelligence, looked at the architecture that's required to support that completely efficiently, and we're building a processor in the most advanced silicon process technology. We'll build that up into PCI Express cards, into modules that can go into your servers, sit next to CPUs, and accelerate machine learning in the order of between 10 times and 100 times faster than the fastest GPUs are able to do today. But the real underlying thing that we're doing is creating an architecture that allows a huge amount of innovation, more flexibility to develop the next generation of machine learning models.
Yeah, and for Dell Technologies Capital also does what we call thematic investment. One of the themes we had was around AI and machine learning. So we looked long and hard for a bunch of great companies out there, went through a bunch of them. We probably looked at 10 to 12 companies, did not find any of them particularly differentiated, and then found Graphcore. We're super excited. And even though I spent a long time around silicon, we decided, we know a gentleman who knows a thing or two about silicon and system architecture. So we gave Andy a call and said, gosh, would you be willing to have a look at this? So Andy, from your point of view, what did you find that was interesting at Graphcore?
So I did meet with Nigel and the team, and when you build these machine learning chips, the key issue is not how many cores do you get on the chip, but how do you interconnect them and make them all work very efficiently, so you get a very high utilization in the actual application. And the architecture they came up with looked really, really good to me, so I got pretty excited about it myself.
Great. So, Nigel, if I remember, we've been investors, is it 9 months?
Okay, we did our Series A funding last summer. We raised $32 million in that Series A, list of top VC investors, and we picked a couple of very important strategic investors as part of that round as well.
I think that was a compliment. Or at least I'm taking it that way. So tell me a little bit about, what made you, when you thought about us as a potential investor, what was of interest to you?
Well, without trying to be too big-headed about this, we did have choices about where we could take our funding from, and we've actually done some companies before, and we know the values that VCs bring, we know the values that corporates bring. It's probably not usual for a company to bring corporate investors in at such an early stage. There are probably a couple that stand out as being different and offer a lot of opportunity. The fact that we're going to have product by the end of this year. I think what we really saw in Dell was a company that we could work with to be able to bring our company to market quickly and to help us scale our product. The ability to work with a company like Dell that gives us the opportunity to ship product pretty much anywhere in the world, potentially by putting our technology together with yours, and be able to scale our technology very, very quickly as one route to market. And to be completely open, you sit alongside other strategic investors that we brought in. We have Bosch, who is obviously the leading company in electronics for automotive, and there's obviously a huge amount of interest around machine learning for automotive. I think we're still trying to work out why, and that's actually a joke. But and we also have Samsung as a strategic investor as well, who obviously is on the consumer side in devices and consumer products, where again there's a lot of interest around machine learning and the impact that it can have in those areas. So having that sort of great combination of strategic investors really gives us a view of the market and a way in which we can develop our business going forward.
Great, thanks. So Andy, you have the opportunity to look at a lot of companies and you invest with a lot of people, and we've had the privilege of doing a number of things with you, not all of which we disclose. Maybe can you give us a little perspective about how you see the environment out there in terms of working with financials versus strategics?
Right. So obviously there's a lot of venture capital out there, both traditional venture capital and corporate venture capital. What's really different about DTC, in my opinion, is that the team there has a very deep knowledge of IT technology, server storage, and even networking, and they're actually looking specifically for opportunities that relate to their interest, rather than investing in consumer and B2C and Airbnb and whatnot, right? So if you were a startup that has any sort of association with the space that Dell EMC is in, you actually would be well advised to give them a call, because it could turn into a go-to-market partnership. And it's not a prerequisite, right? But it opens the opportunity to not only talk to the people, the team at DTC, but eventually to form perhaps a larger alliance about how to bring these products to market.
Okay, so I think that's what we're going to cover. Want to take a question or two from the audience, or how would you like?